Hi, we are here to help you configure and run ITIL Switch Plus through this video manual. This segment will help reseller to check tariff plan, create new tariff plan, create reseller, originating IP and PIN client, operate mobile top-up, check live call log and active call, check profit loss and check different types of report. If you will paste billing link in browser, you can see this login page. Here you have to put appropriate username and password. Here, if you want, you can select your preferred language. By default, language is English. Now click on Login. For security reason, system will request you to change password after his or her first login. You can change the password. Here you can see the home page for reseller. In the top left side, you can see balance, your credit limit, and you can also see whether your status is active or blocked. In left side, you can see there are 4 segments: client, voice rate plan, mobile top-up, and report. You will get all the options that you are frequently using in the top bar. If you will click any option from here, you can easily go to that page. Now, if you want to see rates that admin has assigned for you, then you have to go to Voice Rate Plan, then select Rate Plan and click on My Rate. Here you can see rates and pulse. If you want, you can download this rate plan so that you can increase or decrease this rate plan, and if you want, you can assign that rate plan to your clients. To download destination rate, you have to click on Download Destination Rate option. You can save this rate plan in your PC. Let us show you how to add rate plan. For that, you have to go to Rate Plan, under Voice Rate Plan and click on Add button. Now you can see Add Rate Plan page. In Option field, there are 3 options: From Rate Plan, From File, Add Destination Wise. Let me show you how to add rate plan by using From Rate Plan option. If you will select From Rate Plan, then you can use existing rate plan from your billing. Now, if you want to increase its all destination rate by a certain percentage, then you can use Increase by option. Now, let's see how you can create rate plan by using From Rate Plan. At first, provide a name for this rate plan. In description field, you can write any statement. You can select any existing rate plan from your billing. Let's assume you want to increase existing rate plan by 1%. Now click on Submit button. You can see a rate plan has uploaded here, and in rate per minute field you can see rate has increased by 1% than previous rate plan. Now let me show you how to create rate plan by using From File. As per before, you have to go to Rate Plan under Voice Rate Plan and click on Add button. At first, you have to give a name for this rate plan. You can either give description or you can leave it blank. Now you have to select From File. Here you can use or upload CSV file that is already stored in your PC. Let's assume you have modified a rate plan, assigned rates, changed pulse, and you have saved that file in CSV format. You can show that file by browsing from here. Now click on Submit button. Here you can see the rates of CSV file has uploaded under this rate plan. Let me show you how to create another rate plan by using Add Destination Wise option. You can give a name for this rate plan. Now you have to select Add Destination Wise. If you will click on Submit button, the rate plan will be created, but there will be no rates under this rate plan. Here you can see rate plan has added, but there is no rates. You can assign rates for single destination. For that, you have to click in the top left side, Add New Destination Rate. Select Destination Code. Destination name will come automatically. Let's assume first interval is 6 seconds, increment interval is 30 seconds, and rate per minute is 0.987. Now, if you will click on Submit button, then a rate will be assigned for 8801 destination code. In this way, you can add rates for individual destination code, or you can use CSV file to upload all rates together. To upload CSV file, you have to select Upload Destination Rate. If you want to search rate plans that you have added before, then you have to go to Rate Plan under Voice Rate Plan option and click on Search option. Here you can see the rate plan search page where you can search by rate plan name, description, and also you can search by created by field with the name of user. By default, show deleted option is no, but if you will select yes, then you can see all deleted rate plan. Here you can see the name of rate plan, description, creation date, created by whom. You can also download, add or upload rate from here. Even you can select any rate plan and delete that from here. If you want to add any new destination rate under any rate plan, then you have to choose that rate plan. Here you can see that one destination rate has added. So if you want to add any other destination one by one, then you have to choose Add New Destination Rate. Or you can use CSV file to upload the bulk amount of rates. For that, you have to select Upload Destination Wise Rate. If you want to block or delete any destination rate, then you can select and do it from here easily. If you want to add reseller or originating client in billing, then you have to go to Manage Client under Client section and click on Add button. Here you can see Client Add page where at first you have to write any desired name considered as client ID, and then you have to provide password and confirm that password. Here you have to select reseller as client type. In balance option, you have to provide desired amount of balance because call won't be passed without balance. Parent account. By default, you will be parent here, but if you want to create this account under any other reseller, then you can also select this from here. Rate plan. You have to select a rate plan because based on that, you can do business with this reseller. You can see the feature of voice rate plan by clicking on View Rate Plan. Mobile Top-up Rate Plan. If you want to provide reseller the mobile top-up facilities, then you have to give a rate plan. Otherwise, you can leave it none. You can see the rate plan from View Rate Plan option. Now, if you will click on Submit button, then a reseller will be created. If you want to add reseller or originating client in billing, then you have to go to Manage Client under Client section and click on Add button. Here you can see Client Add page where at first you have to write any desired name considered as client ID, and then you have to provide password and confirm that password. Here you have to select reseller as client type. In balance option, you have to provide desired amount of balance because call won't be passed without balance. Parent account. By default, you will be parent here, but if you want to create this account under any other reseller, then you can also select this from here. Rate plan. You have to select rate plan from here because based on that, you can do business with this reseller. You can see the feature of voice rate plan by clicking on View Rate Plan. Mobile top-up rate plan. If you want to provide reseller the mobile top-up facility, then you have to give a rate plan. Otherwise, you can leave it none. You can see the rate plan from View Rate Plan option. Now, if you will click on Submit button, then a reseller will be created. Now, let me show you what we have in Advanced option. If you want to increase all destination rates by a certain percentage, then you can use Increased by option. Payment type, you can keep it either prepaid or postpaid. By default, it is prepaid. Credit limit, here you can give a credit limit to reseller. By default, it is 0. Maximum allowed call, you can control maximum allowed call from here. By default, we are keeping -1. Maximum client limit, you can control maximum client limit of this reseller. If you will set 10, then reseller will not be able to create more than 10 clients. Maximum allowed balance, if you will give a limit, then your reseller won't be able to provide balance to his client more than this given amount. Role, for reseller, role is default. If you want, you can choose other option from here. Permission to create rate plan. By default, it is enable. If you want, you can keep it disable. If you will select disable, then this client cannot make a new rate plan in his panel. Reseller have to create client, PIN or other things by using this given rate plan. Status. Either you can select active or you can select block. By default, it is active. Enable child IVR or remaining minute IVR. By default, it is enable. If you want, you can keep it disable. IVR language. By default, it is English. If you want, you can select other language from here. IVR currency, by default it is USD. If you want, you can select other currency from here. Contact information. Here you have to put the name of reseller, designation, company name, mobile number, email, etc. Now, if you will click on Submit button, then reseller will be created. Let me show you how to create originating client. As before, you have to go to Manage Client under Client section and click on Add button. Here, you have to write a desired name considered as client ID. Then you have to provide password and confirm that password. Here, you have to select originating as client type. Balance is mandatory for originating client. In system, originating client can be authenticated by three ways: IP, caller ID, and prefix. Usually, IP is the most common way to authenticate the client. Now, you have to provide the IP of originating client. And let's assume the port is 5060. Now, click on Add Parent Account. By default, parent account will be you. Voice rate plan. You have to select voice rate plan. If you won't select voice rate plan, Then no call will come to you from this originating client. Mobile top-up rate plan. As usual, you have to select mobile top-up rate plan if you want to provide mobile top-up facility. But if you want, you can leave it none. If you will click on submit button, then originating client will be created. Now let's see what we have in advanced option. Just as before, you can assign voice rate plan by using increased by option. Payment type. Here in payment type you can choose prepaid or postpaid. Credit limit. By default credit limit is 0. Maximum allowed call. If you want you can set maximum allowed calls. By default it is -1. Status. Here either you can select active or you can select block. By default it is active. IVR language. Same as before. By default it is English. IVR currency. By default it is USD. If you want you can select other currency from here. Contact information. This is also same as before. Now if you will click on submit button, then originating client will be created. Now let me show you how to generate PIN in ITIL billing. We can generate PIN in two ways, batch PIN and single PIN. To generate batch PIN, you have to select Manage PIN and then click on Generate PIN. Here you can see the page of Generate PIN. Batch PIN name. You can write here your desired batch name. PIN prefix. You can set what will be the initial character of your PIN prefix. Total number of PIN. Here you can write how many PIN you want to generate. PIN digit length. Here you have to determine the digit length of PIN. Initial balance. By default it is 0, but you can put any balance here. Payment type. By default it is prepaid, but you can also choose postpaid. Parent account. By default parent account will be you. If you want, you can create this batch PIN under any other reseller. Voice rate plan. You have to assign appropriate rate plan here. If you will keep it none, then call won't pass. Mobile top-up. If you want to provide mobile top-up facilities, then assign a rate plan or keep it none. Now, if you will click on submit button, the batch PIN will be created. Let's see what we have in advanced option. If you want to increase rate for existing rate plan, then you have the flexibility to do that. PIN type. By default it is rechargeable, but you can choose auto sign up PIN, one time use only, call shop PIN and PIN with video. PIN status. By default it is active. You can also choose block. Activation time. Here you can set PIN activation time. That means from when the PIN will be activated. Expire time. From here you can select PIN expire time. Expire after first use. By default it is 90 days, but you can put any days here. IVR language. By default it is English, but you can choose any language. IVR currency. By default it is USD, but you can select any other currency. Now click on submit button to generate batch PIN. Here you can see that your batch PIN has created and you can see the PIN and password here. If you want, you can also download and save this PIN from here. To create single PIN, you have to go to Client section, then Manage PIN and click on Generate Single PIN. Here you can see Single PIN Add page. In the first field, you can put any desired character, numeric value or alphanumeric value to create a PIN number. You can set a password for this PIN number. Caller ID. You can add caller ID or you can keep it blank. Caller ID usually used for DID call. PIN balance. Here you can give an amount of PIN balance. Payment type, by default it will be prepaid, but you can choose postpaid. Parent account, by default parent account will be you, but if you want to create this PIN under any other reseller, then you can choose parent from this list. Voice rate plan, you have to assign appropriate voice rate plan. Mobile top-up, if you want to provide mobile top-up facilities, then you have to assign a rate plan or you can keep it none. Now, if you will click on submit button, you can generate a PIN. Let's see what we have in advanced option. Voice rate plan. If you want to increase rate for existing rate plan, then in this field you have the flexibility to do that. PIN status, by default it is active. You can also choose block. Activation time. Here you can set PIN activation time. That means from when the PIN will be activated. Expire time. From here you can select PIN expire time. Expire after first use. By default it is 90 days, but you can put any days here. IVR language. By default it is English, but you can choose any language. IVR currency. By default it is USD, but you can select any other currency. Now click on submit button to create single PIN. To search client, you have to go to client section and then click on search button under manage client. Here you can see client search page where you can search by using different types of option such as client ID, gateway IP, client type. You can also search by show deleted option. By default it is no, but if you will select yes, then you can see the client that you have deleted before. Here you can see your clients. If you want to edit them, then you have to click on edit option of right side. From here you can change any information and also you can change rate plan. If you want to block or delete any client, then you can also do that from here. You have to select that client to delete or block. You can easily activate any blocked client by selecting and clicking on Active button. Now, if you want to recharge any client, then you have to go to Client section, then select Manage Client and click on Recharge button. You can see recharge page where you can search by client ID or phone number, or you can search by using client type option. Let's assume you want to recharge reseller Zaman. To do that, you have to put an amount in recharge box and click on submit button to recharge. But if you want, you can provide credit limit. You have to put an amount in credit box. Credit limit means assigning balance in advance. If you want, you can write any notes in description for this amount. Now click on submit button. In this page you can see that recharge is successful and you can see balance in current balance field. You can also see the credit limit that you have given. Now let me show you how can you search, edit and recharge any PIN. To search a PIN, you have to go to Manage PIN under Client section and have to select Search PIN option. You can see Search PIN page where you can search by PIN number, by caller ID. You can also search by active or blocked status, by enable or disable video status. Also you can search by using Show Deleted option. Now, if you want to delete any PIN, then you have to select that PIN and click on Delete. You can block the selected PIN. If you want, you can also active a blocked PIN. You can disable video for this PIN, or you can also enable video which was disabled before. If you want to edit any PIN information, then you have to click on Edit button. In Edit page, you can replace existing PIN with a new PIN. You can change password, you can change voice rate plan, and also you can change mobile top-up rate plan. Let's assume you are not changing any information, so click on Submit button. From here, you can go to PIN recharge page directly. For that, you have to click in that specific PIN over current balance option. Here you can see PIN recharge page where you have to put an amount in recharge box to recharge this PIN. Here you can see PIN recharge is successful. Let's see what we have in mobile top-up section. You have to remember that if your admin won't allow you, then you cannot do mobile top-up. Let's assume you have mobile top-up facility. In this section, you will get the opportunity to add and search rate plan. You can request for a top-up and also you can calculate mobile top-up rate. To check the rate that admin has assigned for you, you have to go to MTU Rate Plan, then click on My Mobile Top-up Rate. Here you can see conversion rate, connection charge, and MTU currency. You can also see available country for top-up along with operator. You can download this rate plan for further use and modification. To download this rate plan, you have to click on Download Destination Rate. Now let me show you how can you add mobile top-up rate plan. Mobile top-up rate plan and voice rate plan is almost similar. Just you need to remember one thing, that for voice rate plan you have assigned increase rate for your client. But in mobile top-up rate plan you have to reduce conversion rate to assign rate plan to your client. To add mobile top-up rate plan, you have to go to MTU Rate Plan, then click on Add button. You can see Mobile Top-up Rate Plan Add page. You have to provide a name for Mobile Top-up Rate Plan. Description is not mandatory. In option you can see Add Destination Wise, From File, and From Top-up Rate Plan. Let's assume you are selecting an existing rate plan and you have to decrease the conversion rate to gain profit. So in decrease by field you have to put the percentage of value. Let's put 2 in decreased by field so that you can reduce conversion rate by 2%. Now click on Submit button. Here you can see that conversion rate has decreased by 2%. Now, if you want to search and edit mobile top-up rate plan and also want to increase or decrease rate for any operator, then you can do that from here. For this process, you have to go to MTU Rate Plan under MTU section and click on Search button. Here you can see the search page of MTU Rate Plan, where you can see the name of rate plan, description, creation date. You can also download the rate plan. If you want, you can add or upload from here. In mobile top-up rate plan, you can get the same benefit that you have got on voice rate plan search page. Let me show you how can you request for a mobile top-up. For that, you have to select Request a top-up under Mobile Top-up section. At first, you have to select Originator. Then, you have to select Top-up country. Operator, you can see the name of operator based on the country you have selected before. You can choose your desired operator from drop-down list. Mobile number. In this field, you have to give mobile number. Service type. You can either choose prepaid or postpaid. Top up amount. You have to give an amount of top up. Account cost. In account cost field, you can see how much amount is deducting in USD against BDT. You can do top up by clicking on submit button. Here you can see MTU Rate Calculator. By using different parameter, you can calculate your profit for any specific package from here. Let me show you what can you see and do in report section. In report section, you can see three types of report: operational report, finance and accounts report, mobile top-up report. At first, let me show you what can you do in operational report. Here, you can monitor report and graph. You can also see active call and live call log. If you will select monitoring report, then you can see the detailed CDR of your call. You can select starting and ending time by from and to option. You can select originating client. By default it is all. You can also select destination code. By default it is all. You can generate detailed report, summary report, and if you want, you can generate a report based on dialed number. Let's assume you want to generate detailed report. Now click on Get Report. Here you can see report page where you will get originating client, IP, region, caller ID, dialed number, connection time, duration, and bill. Now let's have a look in monitoring graph report. Here you can select time, originating client, terminating client, and can also select destination code. Now if you will click on Get Report, then you can see monitoring graph page where you can see total call graph. It means you can see total call hit on specific time. Total minute graph. Here you can see graph of total connected call on specific time. You can also see average success rate or ASR from here. If you want to check live call status, then you have to go to Operational Report and click on Live Call Log. From this page, you can easily see the present condition of your call. Here, you can see the message of connected call and failed call. We have used various color for your better understanding. Here, you can see green color for a connected call, where you can see call has connected successfully. You can also see red color for a failed call. If you want, you can see the reason of failed call. You can see a message, please contact with your provider. Then you have to contact with admin to pass the call successfully. You can also see orange color where you can see a message, dialed number did not accept call. And you can also see light green color for a running call. Let's see how can you monitor active call. For that, you have to select Active Call under Operational Report. Here, you can see Active Call page, where you can search by originating client or reseller, originating destination code, and dial number. You can also sort active call based on connect time, reseller ID, and originating client. Now, let's have a look how can you check profit summary. Here you can see profit summary page. You can select time from here. You can also select custom date range. In report type, you can check report by client wise, destination wise, and hourly basis. Here you can see my selling amount, which means in which rate your client will call. You can also see my buying cost option, which means the rate that admin has assigned for you. If your buying and selling amount is equal, then you can see profit is 0. But if your selling amount is greater than your buying cost, then you can see the profit. Now, let me show you how can you generate invoice. For that, you have to select Invoice Generation. You can see the page of invoice generation where you can generate invoice by selecting Reseller, Originating and PIN. Let's assume you are selecting PIN to generate invoice. You can select Start Time by From option and you can select End Time by To option. You can also select Bill Date from here. Now, if you will click on Generate, invoice will be created. Here you can see the page of invoice. Now let me show you how can you see recharge history. For that you have to go in Report section. Then select Finance and Accounts Report and click on Recharge History. Here you can see Recharge History page where at first you can select time. You can also select Custom Date Range. From report type, either you can select all client or you can select client wise to check report for specific client. You can see added by field where you can search by a name who has created PIN or client. If you will select client wise option, then you have to provide client's name here. You can also write any PIN, reseller or name of originating client here. Now, if you will click on Get Report, then you can see the recharge history against this PIN. Here, you can see serial number, client ID, amount field. In payment type, you can see initial balance, account recharge, and in date field, you can see the date and time for that transaction. Here, you can also see description and added by field. If you want, you can see mobile top-up report from report section. From here, you can select time by using option from and to. You can select originating client. By default, it is all. You can select country, operator, and also you can generate detail and summary report. Now, if you will click on Get Report, then you can see all destination-wise top-up report. Now, if you want to change your password or if you want to change any information like contact number, mobile number or email ID, then you have to go to My Profile. Here you can see the box of password where you can provide new password. In contact information, you can provide name, company name, etc. If you will click Update Profile, then your profile will be changed.